Hey Aakash, good afternoon. Thank you for joining us today.
Hey David, thank you so much for inviting me.
How are you doing today?
I'm doing really good. Had a long flight from New York, but you have been a really good host. Thank you so much for that.
No, thank you for coming all the way here
Of course, I'm
to
super
be part of
excited.
it. Yeah. So for our viewers, tell us about yourself, like what you do, where you live.
Well, currently I live in New Jersey. I work for Samsung as a senior marketing analyst since past 1.5 years, and I came to United States in 2019 itself. And before that, I used to live in India. I got my bachelor's in business analytics, and then once I got here, I got my master's in marketing science. And it has been going really good for me since then.
That's nice. How do you enjoy your work with Samsung?
Well, it has its ups and downs, but for now, it has more of ups in life because so it's like a completely new world for me, right? And getting into one of the topmost, technical, technological like companies,
Yeah.
it comes with a lot of challenges, but it comes with a lot of learnings as well. So it has been good for me for now. Let's hope it stays the same.
Yeah. Is it the dream of being something for Samsung or a dream of opening something for yourself? Like where are you headed?
Well, you know how immigration laws are in US are, right?
Yeah.
So that's the thing about the US. No matter how many dreams you have to be practical in life, right? So if I really want to get my business up and running, I would need a green card for here, right? But
Sure.
until then, maybe I want to climb up the corporate ladder and just get to learn from the leaders in the corporate world.
That's nice. That's nice. Tell us more about your family. Do you have siblings? Your family?
Well, I have been fortunate enough, though, like people tell me all the time that this is might be a bad thing, but I'm a single child, and that has what made me, have all the love from my parents and
Nice.
all of my family as well. Yeah.
Are your family here or?
So yeah, I have a lot of family here back in California. So they have been here all their lives. I have about like 13 to 14 cousins whom I have been visiting all my life. And that's why while growing up, I have visited United States like enormous amount of times that actually made me, in my life one day actually achieve the same things all of my uncles and aunts that they have, been able to get over here. So yeah, I have been a quite well off family as well since I was a child. But I was always explored to the whole world like how it always is, and my parents have been, like really forward with me about the harsh realities in life, and I have never taken anything that I got for, in life very easily. I never took it for granted.
Oh, nice.
So yeah.
Nice. So tell us more about like your struggle, like being an immigrant. You mentioned a couple of times already. So like tell us like when you moved here, what was the struggle? What the path you took to be a senior analyst in Samsung? It's a long journey, as you.
I know.
So like walk us through like what your struggles and.
So everyone in the life is going to have this struggle, but it's just a matter of them owning it and getting over it, right? So coming here from a different country, you have no family here. You have to make all of your new friends, you have to start from square one, right?
Yeah.
So it's all about like having that confidence in you, I guess, because if you just feel like you're in a different world and without even taking any initiatives or without even going out and talking to people and all, you're not gonna be able to survive here. Yeah, that's not the way, right? Because in order to like grow, you have to like start knowing
Get out of the comfort
yeah,
zone.
exactly, and start knowing the people where you are living in, right? So for us, like immigrants like us, it's always going to be a longer journey because coming here first, working on getting your admissions into a good university when you come to the United States, right? So if you come here, you would rather go for a STEM course, right?
Yeah.
That's what I prefer. That everyone who actually comes abroad to study, if they have like a STEM course, they get like at least 3 years to work in the United States once they graduate, right?
Yeah.
So if they are coming here, they are spending all of this money out of to these like big universities to just get courses, and after that, to get all of it back, it actually makes more sense to stay here to learn the ways that they have in the corporate world as well. Because once you actually start working into the real life, you actually start to get to learn more that you could have never got to learn when you were just studying, right?
Was it like a cultural shock for you when you came down here?
A cultural shock? Well, like I told you, I have been here like all my life, right? So
That helps you.
I have been coming, yeah, I knew what the culture itself was like, but like many of my friends, they have actually faced the similar kind of things because not everyone is like open to all the cultures, right? There are many like reserved people in life, even though that our generation is like evolving, but still, you know, that sense of minority is always going to be in there.
Staying in New York, like, did you ever face like, we hear a lot of stories about like racism,
Of course.
being a different color. Did you ever face those situations or?
Well, I personally have like small things, you know, when you go to a store and if it's a redhead, okay, just like we like to call them. So the pure Americans, there are always going to be there that who are going to think of the brown and the black races as a minor race. Then they are always going to think of themselves like a superior race. And it's not nothing like, you know, it just came around like yesterday, right? This has been there since a long time. And I don't think so it's gonna go away for like a quite amount of time. It's just the thing that people have to start dealing with it. People have to just be open with it. People are gonna be like racist all their life. It's just a matter of you don't have to like worry about any of those sort of things in life, right? You just have to keep moving. If you know that you are doing the right thing, if you in your heart that you know that you don't mean any harm to any other human being, you're always good to go.
So isn't it like when you face certain situations and it just gives you a scar on your mental health, right? Something that you can't forget. Like even though you know you're doing it right, you want to move on out of it, but it's the scars it creates in people's mind. And then you create a mentality toward a certain race. I'm not saying any brown, white, black, whatever color you are, right? When you are in the minority label, right, you get that scars when somebody being racist to you. It's like how do you tackle that?
So about tackling those kind of things, yeah, people are always going to be, you know, if someone is being like rude to you, they're going to do it with ease. But you talking back to them out of those, you know, like harsh feelings that you have, you just have to be normal. It's like those guys are always going to be like hateful and aggressive and all. All you can do is be calm and just don't entertain them, right? The main thing is that if you like escalate things, it's gonna make the situation even worse. So the better thing for you is that like everyone knows about the Karens, right? These days, come on, they're always posting things up. So I know it's a bad thing to say, but like just getting your camera out always makes the other person think twice what his next actions are gonna be, right? So yeah, rather than reacting, you should just, you know, take the situation with ease and not escalate it, not try to escalate it. Even though you know the other person is in the wrong, it's not the perfect thing to always, you know, like protest for it.
Interesting.
How about what do you think? Well, have you ever been like in any such situation ever?
I mean, I've been fortunate enough to be around the people, places I've been to so far. I haven't faced like personally, but like you can tell the person is not very welcoming when you go to certain places, like countryside, some of the bars or clubs or places, restaurants you go to, you can see that.
Yeah.
But it's rather you be there or you don't be there. It's as simple. Like you don't want to go in and change everybody's mindset. You can teach the way it should be. Some people don't want to learn it. Eventually they will learn it.
Which come on, it's not like every person you meet, you know what their background is, or what they have been through in life, right? So just like judging them for those like minor minutes doesn't make sense, and it's just gonna like waste your energy as well.
Yeah.
Right?
Do you have a political opinions in current United States?
No. I'm not much into politics because all the leaders right now, I don't even think so that they deserve enough to be there, right? Just like Biden, and before that it was Trump. Come on, it's like since past like 9 to 10 years, I don't think so that America has been at a good political stage where they can actually start looking at, you know, the broader picture and look at what all developments they need to do in competition with like Korea, China and Japan, right? Because their life, just like, you know, right, US is a land of immigrants, right? The
Mhm.
only way China and Japan they have been able to grow this much is only because they have their own cultural bind in them. It's not like many people are going there and like they are settling down and all, right? Compared to US, it's like a fraction.
But
of
isn't it a help country to grow faster?
Which one?
Like having a different immigrant, different culture, doesn't it think, like in my opinion, it's like you have different culture, different mindset helps you move faster, progress faster, instead of just one straight line.
Exactly, I totally agree with you. And that's the thing about humanity. Once it has its own pros, it's always going to have more cons to it, okay? Like people are always going to think about themselves more than what they can do together, along with everyone. So in order to like accept other cultures and accept other like races and all, it's going to be so tough for them that they would rather not look at the bigger picture and just deal for their own, like grievances and all.
Interesting. We're going too much into the deep conversation.
I know, right?
Tell us about your dating life.
I know, right? So, yeah, I recently got out of a long-term relationship. We had been in a long-distance relationship since past 2 years. And yeah, I never wanted to go back to India. And she couldn't make it here, just like all the US councils and all, they don't let Indians, with Patel, so last names come so easily. So yeah, she was one of them, and yeah, well, we both took a grown-up, decision, and yeah, we are actually at a better places in our lives as well. She's doing good back in India, and I'm really happy where I am right now.
That's good. It's like a healthy situation.
So I'm just looking into like dating, different cultures and different races, right? Because all my lives I have been with like in relationships with Indian women. So it's not, I'm not putting it out in a bad way, but I actually want to see the other side of the world, right?
So do you see yourself marrying into a different culture?
Sure, yeah. I'm always open to it. But it's not like I'm going to get married anytime soon, but for sure that's on the table, right? I don't want. So that's the thing about me. Anything and everything that a person can do in life, I always put it on the table, right? It's just a matter of something wrong that I wouldn't do that. But yeah, if it doesn't hurt anyone, I'm gonna do it, man. For sure.
That's something I really like about you. It's like you have open mind about everything. It's like nothing
It's
is
like
off limit. Come down, talk about it, and I don't know about it. I might be learning something about it. I might accept it. I might not. But I have certain opinions where I'm like, that's how I'm gonna draw the line right here. I cannot move past it. But when I talk to you, when I hang out with you, it's like a whole nother view. Like, okay, I'll sit down. Let's think about it this way. It could be that. It could be that. It could be that. One of the things is THC, marijuana, and all stuff,
Exactly.
right? I had a very strict opinion if you meet me like a couple of years ago. And I think you're the first person that I saw smoking and everything. That changed my mind to like, okay, people can do it and still live a life and still have that non-addictive behavior and everything. So tell us more about it, your journey with that.
So I'm like no one to talk about it. Like like great celebrities like come on, Snoop Dogg, like Seth Rogen and Martha Stewart, and come on, there are like so many people who have actually proven in life that marijuana isn't a drug if you let it, if you can control it, right? If you let marijuana control you, like just like every other drug, your life is gonna go into the worst, phase that it can be. But marijuana is addictive. I wouldn't say it's not. Obviously it is. But at a younger age, when like people actually start like to get in touch with all of these things, they don't actually everyone know about it, right? So first when I started, obviously I was the same, but with time I had to actually make my mind, understand that even though if I'm having it, I do not need to let it conquer my mind, right? So even though it was helping me like getting more creativity and like getting more hours, like putting more hours into whatever I'm doing, even though I was never studious in life, I got the worst grades ever. But I was fortunate enough to learn, the ways of the world that would actually put me at a good stage, and like just grow and learn from every single person you meet in life, right? So
I saw that.
I know that.
Some guy walking on the street, and next day, no, it's in the apartment. This guy smoking with you.
Yeah, I know.
And I'm like, didn't we meet him yesterday on the street? Yeah, he's not my friend. I was like, okay, go for it.
That's how your life should be. Come on, if you are just gonna be like so many barricades in your life, if you're just gonna put like so many the thoughts into your life, that then the things that are coming to you, they are never gonna come to you.
True. The funny thing you mentioned that about marijuana and Snoop Dogg and all the other celebrity you mentioned, but do you know, being in India, like it's been originated like way before Snoop Dogg and in India, your spiritual gurus and all that, they used to do
The
this
sadhus
to get
and all,
concentration. Even, I might just say it might not be true or not, but Shiv has also a history behind the marijuana and everything.
Bholenath, come on,
Yeah.
that's how.
So, how come that wasn't an inspiration and suddenly the Martha Stewart and Snoop Dogg and celebrity become inspiration and connecting the dots?
So yeah, I wouldn't deny about that. Obviously, since I was a kid, since I was born, I was always like brought into the world with the feeling that God is everything, and everyone should praise them, and all the stories about their histories and all. But for me, what I actually believe is what is in front of me, right? For me, I don't believe in God. All I believe in are my parents, right? So my parents are like God for me, because whatever I am right now, no matter what, it's all because of them. I never had actually the even thought about that. I would coming from a family, from a Brahmin family, from a Hindu Brahmin family, that I would have these kind of thoughts. But it's all because of my parents, and they all support it, because the kind of questions that I when we have those kind of pujas and all at home, the pundits and all, they speak so many different things and all, and I'm like, Mom, I already know this because of the experiences I have had, right? So it's all about when people go through things, they always like think about the God. They always have that hope that God is gonna do good for them. So rather than having that feeling, I always hope in myself. I always put hope in myself. I would always like bet on myself that come on, even like I'm going through the worst phase, it's gonna be me who's gonna get me out of it, right? So obviously I believe in a higher power. Obviously there would be there. There's a reason why the humanity and every single thing over here exists. But yeah, I don't believe that God is the only one that's taking care of it. So rather than putting it all on them, I would rather praise the ones who are actually living in this world, and everyone knows about them, that they are surviving. Everyone knows about their stories, what they have been through, and still they have gotten on the good side of the world. And yeah, they are.
Who are those people?
Like so many people, man. It's not just like these celebrities, but I would actually say like related to marijuana, right?
No, in general, you say you don't believe in God, but you believe in people. They've been surviving, going through the things and coming to the better side of this. Like, it could be a God, it could be anybody. Like, who is that you believe in as a higher power?
So this is what I think about life. Actually, we have talked about it as well, about Matthew McConaughey's theory, right? That if you want to become something, you have to follow the whole journey rather than just concentrating on the end journey, on the end what you're gonna get. So I always believe that obviously I gain all the good things from everyone in the world, right? It's not like I'm concentrated on just one person.
But
I
you're
just go for
beat
one
down,
person.
you don't have any hope. What is your hope that you look up and be like?
Marijuana, I guess. That's just
That's just the answer.
But I so there's always a thing, okay? So in your life, whenever something good happens to you, something bad along is always gonna come. That's my motive in life, okay? So that's my mantra actually. So whenever something bad happens, I'm like, oh, so this thing that's gonna happen tomorrow. I guess that's gonna happen really good to me, right? And that has actually been true for me, like all my life. It's never like if bad thing is happening, all the bad things are coming to me together. It's like somewhere I'm gonna find that spotlight. So it's all about like it's always darkest before the dawn. So that's how you should actually deal life with. If you're just gonna cry over the spilled milk, it's not gonna take you anywhere in life.
Work for it.
Yeah, work for it. And no matter what, life is gonna put you down to your knees, man. Go on. Just like Sylvester Stallone told in Rocky, right?
Sure.
That life is gonna put you down to your knees. It's just a matter of you getting back on your feet and fighting right back.
What's your thought on anxiety and depression?
Yeah, I guess it's a real thing, and
I mean, we're not judging. It's
No,
not
no,
real
no.
or not. We all know it's real.
I know, and no, but I don't think so that in my life I would ever go through depression because
Help us out. There are people who are going through depression. There are people who are struggling with it. Help us out. Why do you think so strongly that you're
I
not
know.
gonna
So
go
I actually knew a couple of people who have actually talked about depression and anxiety as well. But it's not the matter of how I'm living is gonna help them out, okay? Because all their lives they've been living in a certain way. It's not gonna change so easily, right? It's like all these years of having a singular mentality or a multiple mentality that has made me, have this kind of thoughts for people as well. Because come on, not every time in life people are gonna be like totally happy. They're always gonna face some problems in life, and like those little problems happening over a span of time, that's what creates a sense of depression or anxiety because they don't see the good side of the world. They are only able to see the bad side of it. Yes.
Okay, so let me try to dissect that. Your opinion is, if you try to find the happiness in everything, no matter how worse it is, you're not gonna go through depression, or at least you will be better while you're going through depression.
Yeah.
Is the right way to put it?
And I don't think so. Come on, like happiness, it's a vague idea. Okay, it's not a singular idea. It depends upon your own things. Okay, so the best thing I would suggest, get therapy. Getting help, it's the most important thing. Even a sorted guy like me, I would always go for therapy. So I actually made my mom start therapy, and my dad, I'm asking him to get it as well. Because just last year, my dad got detected with like mouth cancer, and his life has changed completely since then.
How's he doing now?
Yeah, he's doing really good. Yeah, he's hanging in there. It has been like totally life changing for him, and yeah, that's why I had to. Yeah, that was one of the lowest part for me as well. That like seeing my dad go through all these things and having my mom fight through all of it all alone, though they were back in India. But yeah, I always tried to be the good kid that in any way that I could help them out. But yeah, and I like to spend all the most of the times when I get a vacation or something, I always try to spend it with them because rest of the year I'm out working and enjoying life, right? So, yeah.
You're pretty close to your family that I know about you. It's like always talking about your parents, your mom, your dad.
So yeah, I really believe that people going through depression and anxiety asking for help is the least that they can do in their life. Because just looking the life in your own way or even your friends' way or your family's way isn't the only way. There's a specialist for that and they know how the whole world works, right? And they are not like the minor-minded people. They know about the whole technical stuff. And mind is it's the most complex part in any
Heart is the most complex part.
If you put it that way, well, only because your mind is able to control your heart as well. You know that. Well, it's just a matter
And
of
the
what
heart
you're
controls
thinking.
your mind.
No, it's always the mind that controls your heart.
So when you go through a breakup, your mind already knows this is something. Get out of it.
Exactly.
But your heart is pushing back to it.
So you feel that way. So you feel that way only because you have thought about all the bad things that, or all the good things that are not going to be in your life only because that person left your life, right? So that's all because of what you think, right? So everything that you feel, everything that you go through, everything that you want to do is all what your mind thinks.
Okay, very less Indians I meet in life, they talk about therapy or pushing someone else to go to therapy or being open about it. And you went to level up when saying you want your parents to even go through it. Talk to us more about it. Like, how did you get into the whole therapy world? Like, back in India, I never heard about this therapy until the Shah Rukh Khan movie came out. And like everybody's like, oh, there's a doctor for that. Oh, yeah. It's not a mental doctor. It's something completely different. That's when everybody kind of get the idea of it. Until today, I mean, in India, if you tell somebody going through therapy, it's like, oh, something is wrong with this person.
Yeah.
Like, how did your mindset change completely?
So I guess it's all about our generation in itself as well, because while we were growing up, all of these things were brought to our attention through school or through our other friends and all, in a way that it's a good thing. Because come on, I have like 4 of my close friends who are actually therapists right now, who are actually working to become like good therapists, okay, in a clinical way. And Nidhi, right? And then also one more Gargi.
What's her
Nidhi Shah
that she runs?
I totally forgot about it, but yeah, it's Nidhi Shah, and yeah, we'll tag it in the comment section below. But yeah, she's actually working for it. She took like really good degrees from UK as well and Scotland. So yeah, she has, and I know so many other people who actually, along with my batchmates when I was getting my bachelor's, I had so many people who took psychology as a minor and a major as well. And just to not boast about it, in my third year, I actually took psychology for one semester because as a second minor.
I mean, it helps. The psychology is not just to like help somebody, but even when you talk to people, when you interact with the corporate world, you need to learn how people are working. Right?
Exactly. And I always believe that, for some reason, I always can look through people. I can always can say if the person means good or he means harm or he or she means harm, right?
Oh, that makes us too.
I know, right? So yeah, I would sometimes say that it's a bad thing too, because I know, whenever people talk about things and all, yeah, therefore.
Funny how you mentioned about good and bad, right? Do you think the world works on the something is good and something is bad, or it doesn't?
So, everything in the world, it just happens, okay? It's all up to your perception, how you take it in life. If it's good for you or bad for you, the main highlighted word is for you, right? Because what people believe is whatever they feel is always going to be very selfish. They're always going to be like, oh, okay, come on, if they like Trump, if they are like, oh wow, if Trump wins, they are going to be happy. People who don't like Trump, they are going to be like, oh, why did he win and all, right?
So I have friends like that.
I know. So it's like, yeah, come on, and it's nothing bad in it. It's like everyone has their own perspective. Everyone has a right to, right? Everyone in the world. So it's all about, knowing that, what's correct for, in general, right? What's correct that should be in general and what's not. So that's about me. So whatever things that, I come across that even I experience with my friends, just like you, okay? So even if I wouldn't like something you did, but I would be like, no man, come on. I would put myself in your place and I would, think about it. I would think what if I was in his place? I might have done the same thing.
Yeah.
Right? Okay. So whatever anyone does to me, I would come on, yeah, I know that people are gonna be that way. And I guess it's only because that for this much, time in life, I've actually thought about it. It's not something I just learned yesterday, but since I was a kid, I've been always just trying to read people, just learning about what they actually are, what they be, and that's what actually has made me learn so much very faster and grow so much in a small amount of time in marketing as well. Because marketing is all about branding and creating more connections, creating more networks, and it's all about making sure that you're putting your best foot forward for the other person as well, not for your own self.
Nice. Okay, one last question before we wrap this up. Tell us about your life in New York. What do you enjoy? What do you do?
Oof, what's not to enjoy in New York, bro? So other than all these big roads and all, good these spaces and all that you guys have here, yeah. But even though there are it's a congested place, right? Compared to Dallas, Texas, or Florida or something, but it's full of life, man. It's a city that never sleeps. So the only reason, so I have my whole family back in California, right, on the west. The only reason I chose to go to New York was because, come on, it's the business hub of this whole world. No matter how much people would like to deny, New York City, it has life, it has things to learn that you can never learn in any other city or any other country.
$1 pizza.
What?
Or $1 pizza.
Or $1 pizza, right? You can never get $1 pizza anyway. And yeah, and I believe that, come on, whenever you're living in life, you should have two kind of lifestyles, right? Once where you are going out, you are going partying, you are going to have fun, and the other where you are just calming yourself down, spending your time with yourself or with your family, right? That actually matters the most. And living in New Jersey though, I'm 15 minutes away from Times Square. Because come on, whenever I go to party, it's always in New York, right? I'm never partying in New Jersey, almost never. There are a couple of places for sure, I do go there. But yeah, I'm always and if I want to get peace, I would stay in New Jersey. So it helps me, read the both sides of the book. You know, I get to if I'm in a mood to party, right, I would actually go. And like just like I said before, this is the thing about New York. For every 7 girls, there are 3 guys. Okay.
So your dating life is good. That's
So exactly. Answering that question,
We
of
got the
yours,
point.
it's perfect. Yeah.
Well, I really appreciate you taking time today and
Thank you so much, man.
giving us this time.
It was great talking to
It was
you.
great talking to you. Thank you.
Thank you, man. Oh my God, man.